My friends, I need you to stop what you're doing right now because what I'm about to share with you could put more money in your bank account this month than you've seen in years. If you're receiving Social Security retirement benefits, SSI or SSDI, there's something happening right now that the government isn't making headlines about, but it's absolutely critical that you understand what's coming your way. I've been hearing from seniors all across America who are confused, worried, and frankly a little scared about what's happening with their monthly checks. Some of you have been checking your bank accounts every single day, wondering when that deposit is coming and why the amount keeps changing. Others have received letters from the Social Security Administration that look official and important, but they're written in language that feels like it needs a law degree to understand. I get it, and that's exactly why I'm here today. You've worked your entire life, paid into this system for decades, and you deserve to know exactly what you're entitled to receive. You shouldn't have to hunt through complicated government websites or spend hours on hold with the SSA just to get a straight answer about your own money. So today, I'm going to sit down with you, just like we're having coffee at your kitchen table, and I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about these new deposit amounts, who's getting them, when they're arriving, and most importantly, how you can make sure you're getting every single dollar you've earned. Now, let me start by addressing the elephant in the room because I know what you're thinking. You've seen that number, $2,000, and you're wondering if this is real or if it's just another one of those too good to be true promises that never materializes. Here's the honest truth, and I'm always going to give it to you straight. The $2,000 figure isn't a brand new benefit that everyone is suddenly getting on top of what they already receive. What's actually happening is that certain groups of Social Security recipients are now seeing their combined monthly benefits reach or exceed that $2,000 mark. And for many of you, this is the first time in your retirement that your check has hit this milestone. This is happening because of several factors working together at the same time, and understanding how these pieces fit together is the key to knowing whether you're one of the people who should be seeing this higher amount. Let's talk about what's driving these increased payments. First and foremost, the COLA increase that went into effect at the beginning of this year has pushed many monthly benefit amounts higher than ever before. If you were already receiving a solid Social Security retirement benefit based on a long work history with good earnings, that COLA boost could have been enough to push your monthly payment over the $2,000 threshold. For example, if you were getting $1,900 a month last year, and you received a COLA increase, you could easily be looking at payments in the $2,000 to $2,100 range now. That's real money, my friends, and it's money that you earned through every paycheck you received during your working years. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and this is where some of you might be eligible for even more than you realize. There are seniors out there who are entitled to receive both their own Social Security retirement benefit and a portion of their spouse's benefit, or in some cases, survivor benefits, if their spouse has passed away. When you combine these benefits together, along with the recent COLA increases, that's when you start seeing these monthly totals climbing up to $2,000 or more. I've been talking to widows and widowers who had no idea they could be claiming additional benefits based on their late spouse's work record, and when they finally applied, their monthly income jumped by hundreds of dollars. That's life-changing money when you're living on a fixed income and watching prices go up at the grocery store every single week. Now let me break down the specific payment schedule because timing is everything when you're budgeting on Social Security. The Social Security Administration doesn't just send out all the checks on the same day. Instead, they follow a very specific schedule based on your birth date, and understanding this schedule means you'll know exactly when to expect that deposit in your account. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th of the month, your payment typically arrives on the second Wednesday of each month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th, you're looking at the 3rd Wednesday. And if you were born between the 21st and the end of the month, your deposit comes on the 4th Wednesday. Now, there are exceptions to this rule, especially if you started receiving benefits before May of 1997, or if you're receiving SSI. Those folks typically get their payments on the first of the month or on the last business day of the previous month if the first happens to fall on a weekend or holiday. For those of you receiving Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, your situation is a bit different, but equally important. SSI payments are designed to help seniors and disabled individuals who have limited income and resources, and while the standard SSI payment is lower than what many people receive from Social Security retirement, there are ways to maximize what you're getting. If you're receiving both SSI and Social Security, which many people do, those combined payments could absolutely reach that $2,000 mark or higher. The key is making sure that Social Security knows about all your circumstances, including any changes in your living situation, marital status, or other income sources, because these factors directly affect how much you receive. Let me talk about something that not enough people understand, and it could cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you're not careful. The Social Security Administration has the authority to reduce or offset your benefits under certain circumstances, and this is where some seniors get caught completely off guard. If you owe money to the federal government for things like unpaid taxes, defaulted student loans from years ago, or even overpayments from Social Security itself, they can garnish a portion of your monthly check to recoup that debt. I've heard heartbreaking stories from seniors who were expecting their full benefit amount, only to find that their deposit was several $100s short because of an old debt they'd forgotten about or didn't even know existed. This is why it's absolutely critical to keep track of any correspondence you receive from the SSA, even if it looks like junk mail, because buried in those letters could be notices about overpayments or other issues that need your immediate attention. Here's something else that's really important, especially for those of you who are still working part-time or doing some kind of side income to make ends meet. If you haven't yet reached your full retirement age, which is somewhere between 66 and 67, depending on when you were born, the Social Security Administration will reduce your benefits if you earn above a certain threshold. For this year, that threshold is about $22,320 annually. For every $2 you earn above that limit, Social Security will withhold $1 of your benefits. Now, this doesn't mean that money is gone forever. Once you reach your full retirement age, Social Security recalculates your benefit to account for the months when your payment was reduced, so you eventually get that money back in the form of higher monthly payments. But in the short term, if you're counting on that full $2,000 deposit and you've been earning extra income, you might see a smaller amount than you expected. Let's switch gears and talk about taxes for a moment, because this is another area where seniors often get surprised. Many people assume that Social Security benefits are tax-free, but that's not always the case. If your combined income, which includes your adjusted gross income, any tax-free interest, and half of your Social Security benefits exceeds certain thresholds, you could owe federal income tax on up to 85% of your benefits. For a single person, if your combined income is between $25,000 and $34,000, up to 50% of your benefits may be taxable. Above $34,000, up to 85% could be taxable. For married couples filing jointly, those thresholds are $32,000 and $44,000 respectively. This means if you're receiving $2,000 a month from Social Security, which is $24,000 a year, and you have other income from pensions, retirement accounts, or investments, you could end up owing taxes on a significant portion of your benefits. Planning for this ahead of time, maybe by having taxes withheld directly from your Social Security payment or making quarterly estimated tax payments, can save you from a nasty surprise come tax season. For our veterans out there, and I know many of you are listening because you served this country with honor and deserve every benefit you've earned, there are additional opportunities to increase your monthly income. Veterans Affairs benefits can stack on top of your Social Security, and depending on your disability rating and other factors, you could be receiving VA compensation that, when combined with your Social Security, easily exceeds $2,000 a month. If you serve during a period of war and you have limited income and assets, you might also qualify for the Veterans Pension Program, which provides additional monthly payments. And if you need help with daily activities because of age or disability, the aid and attendance benefit can add several hundred more dollars to your monthly check. The key with VA benefits is that you have to apply for them. They don't automatically come to you just because you're a veteran. You need to submit the paperwork, provide the documentation, and follow through with the process, but I'm telling you, it's worth every minute of effort because this is money that can make the difference between just scraping by and actually being able to live with some comfort and dignity. Now, I want to talk about a strategy that too many seniors overlook, and it has to do with spousal benefits. If you're married, divorced after at least 10 years of marriage, or widowed, you may be entitled to benefits based on your spouse's or ex-spouse's work record, even if you never worked yourself or had minimal earnings. For example, if your own Social Security benefit is relatively small, maybe around $800 or $900 a month, but your spouse earned significantly more during their career and is entitled to a benefit of $2,000 or more. You could receive up to 50% of their full retirement age benefit amount as a spousal benefit. That could boost your monthly income by several $100s. For widows and widowers, survivor benefits can be even more generous, potentially allowing you to receive 100% of what your deceased spouse was receiving or entitled to receive. If you've been divorced but you were married for at least 10 years, you can still claim benefits on your ex-spouse's record, and here's the beautiful part. Them doing so doesn't reduce their benefit or even require them to know about it. These are the kinds of hidden opportunities that can push your total monthly income up to or beyond that $2,000 mark. Let me give you a real example of how this works in practice. I was talking to a woman named Margaret just last week. She's 72 years old, and she'd been receiving about $1,300 a month from Social Security based on her own work record. Her husband passed away 3 years ago, and he had been receiving about $2,200 a month. Margaret had no idea that she could switch to survivor benefits and receive the full amount her husband had been getting. Once she applied and got approved, her monthly income jumped from $1,300 to $2,200, an increase of $900 every single month. That's $10,800 more per year, money that she was entitled to all along, but wasn't receiving simply because she didn't know to ask for it. These are the kinds of situations that break my heart because there are thousands of seniors out there leaving money on the table every month just because the system is so complicated and confusing. Here's what you need to do right now if you want to make sure you're getting everything you're entitled to. First, create an account on the Social Security Administration's website if you haven't already. I know, some of you aren't comfortable with computers and websites, and that's okay. If that's you, call the Social Security Administration at their toll-free number, and yes, you might be on hold for a while, but it's worth it. Ask them to review your benefit amount and confirm that you're receiving all the benefits you qualify for, including any spousal, survivor, or divorced spouse benefits. Second, if you're a veteran, contact the VA or reach out to a veterans service organization like the VFW or American Legion. They have trained representatives who can help you navigate the VA benefit system at no cost to you. Third, keep meticulous records of every interaction you have with Social Security or the VA. Write down the date, time, and name of the person you spoke with and what they told you. If they make any promises about benefit amounts or approval dates, get it in writing if possible. This documentation can be crucial if there's ever a dispute about what you're owed. My friends, I want to close by saying this. You've spent your entire life working hard, paying your taxes, and doing the right thing. You've earned these benefits, and you deserve to receive every penny that's coming to you. Don't let confusion, intimidation, or just plain exhaustion stop you from claiming what's rightfully yours. Whether your monthly deposit is $2,000 or less, the most important thing is that you're getting the maximum amount based on your unique situation. Check your bank account when your payment is scheduled to arrive, compare it to what you think you should be receiving, and if something doesn't look right, speak up and ask questions. You have advocates out there, whether it's family members, community organizations, or people like me who want to help you navigate this system. The $2,000 deposits that are happening this month are real for those who qualify, and with the right knowledge and the right strategy, you might just find that you're one of them.